Hi YouTube, this is Super Person, and I'm here to make another lucid dreaming video, just because I haven't made one in a while. I upgraded my camera. It's not like the most expensive thing out there, but it's better than like the integrated one I had been using, or my, phone. Instead of using my phone. Because the phone for the fish videos is really shaky, though I'll probably have to keep using the fish videos just because I can't afford a new one, and the thing I'm using right here is one of those things you mount on the computer. So, yeah. But, yeah, so I upgraded the thing. So hopefully this looks better. It's supposed to be HD, 720, which, it's decently HD. It's not like it's 180, but it's still HD. And for 20 bucks, it wasn't that bad of a price. So just to kick it off, I thought I'd do a video on lucid dreaming. And this time, because I don't think I've talked about it, I'm going to do one on, not the method I use a lot, but a method that I've done and it always works if I do it. It just takes initiative to do it. Yeah, it's called the wake back to bed technique or method. And it's basically what it says. You set your alarm for about 4 or 5 hours after you've been asleep, and you wake up. Don't go back to bed right then. It's not that easy. You wake up, have to get out of bed. You have to be awake for about 45 minutes. You want to be completely awake before you go back to bed. Like, when you wake up and you have that feeling like I can go back to bed instantly, that groggy death feeling? No, you can't feel that at all. You need to be awake, mentally awake, before you go back to bed. It's best to do this when when you're REM sleeping. Like not that everyone knows this, but, not everyone knows when their REM sleep is. There are certain times in the night you're doing REM sleep, and the further in the night, the more times you do it, and the longer it is, like I've said before. Of course, no one knows exactly when they do that, unless you count it out and you wake up certain times and you just know. I have no idea when I REM sleep. I know I REM sleep typically right before I wake up, obviously. But I haven't clocked it. But it's best to do it while you're in REM sleep. Like, wake yourself up right in the middle of it. That way your brain is tuned into REM sleep, and when you actually go back to sleep 45 minutes later, you will go into a REM sleep state again, which is ideal for lucid dreaming. So, step 1 is to wake up. Set your alarm early, like 4 to 6 hours into sleep. Hopefully you hit the REM sleep time. If not, it's not like it kills you if you don't. Get up, which is the hardest part. So I've done this, I've tried doing it, and most of the time I just go back to sleep because, I look at the alarm, and, like, okay, the alarm will go off, and I'll be like, what time is it? I'm like, 4:30 in the morning. Huh. Why did I want to do this again? And I'm like, oh yeah, the lucid dreaming, I don't care. That'll do. I'm sure I'll lucid dream anyway, and I just roll over. You don't want to do that. It's hard not to. I mean, I do that all the time when I try, but try to not do it. It does take a little willpower. So after you wake up and you're awake for 45 minutes and you go back to bed, it's good to think about lucid dreaming as you're going back to bed, but you don't have to do anything in particular. You don't have to lay on your back. You don't have to, like, not move. You don't have to do anything like that. Just go to sleep. And sort of put into your mind that you want a lucid dream. It's not necessary, but it seems to help when I do it. So go to sleep, and you should have a lucid dream. This has a high success rate, and it's usually one of the ways most people do it. Usually by accident, like they'll get up to do something and go back to bed later, and that's what happens. Like for me, I had one like 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, and I've had on and off spells of lucid dreaming. I've said it before, where you have moments of you're lucid dreaming a lot, and then you have moments where you're not lucid dreaming at all. Or very infrequently. And it'd been one of those infrequent periods. I'm still sort of in that period. And I gotten up early for like a blood work thing and a doctor's appointment. It was like 8 in the morning. So I got up, went to the appointment, came back. But I was awake for about 45 minutes and went back to bed. Because I didn't want to stay up that early. And, man, I mean, I had a really good lucid dream. And I had one of those lucid dreams where you can go from lucid dream to lucid dream to lucid dream. Like I had like 3 in a row or something. Those are really fun. But, yeah, see, I don't actively normally do this technique just because of how much work it takes. But if you do it, it has a very high success rate. Of course, do reality checks and other methods to kind of back up the thing. So when you are dreaming, you will question reality and will be, awoken to lucidity in the dream. So, always have other things you do besides just a method, like have those reality checks you do to kind of add on to it. You need it, like the pair. But it's a really good technique. Like, I highly suggest it for beginners. It does take a little bit of willpower to do it, but it's a fairly easy one to do. It's not like the wake-induced lucid dreaming one, which is... What, the wild? Yeah, the wild. Wait. Wake back to... Oh, this is wake back to bed. Wake-induced lucid dreaming, that's different. That one takes more... Not so much physical effort, like waking up and having to be awake. It takes more mental effort, like you have to be mentally... It's a good technique. I totally suggest it, but I've already talked about it, I think, or I'll talk about it later. So, yeah, that is wake back to bed. It's a pretty fairly good technique. Nothing too crazy. And that's basically all I want to say in the lucid dreaming video here. I think. That's about it. Yep. So that is this video about lucid dreaming. Once again, if you have any questions, you want any topics talked about, like, go ahead and ask. I like doing these. They're kind of fun just to talk to a camera. Ooh, fun times. I don't know, get my word out, because I'm not an expert. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an expert at lucid dreaming, but, I've done it enough, and I know what I'm doing. I do it, so, once again, the whole astral projecting thing, I know nothing of. Don't even ask me, because I have no idea much about astral projecting. Like, I know how you can do it, and I have tried astral projecting a lot, just because it's a huge scientific thing where people are like, astral projecting is just lucid dreaming, and that scientifically proves that there's no afterlife, and I'm like, okay, I want to see if that's real or not. And, I mean, I like to believe there's an afterlife in all this. I mean, that's how I roll. But, it's, lots of people are like, lucid dreaming and astral projection are the same thing. It's just your mind creating a world that looks just like real life, and it's not actually your spirit leaving your body. And I've lucid dreamed a lot, and when people describe astral projection, it's nothing like my lucid dreaming. Like, all the experiences I've had, it's nothing like that. So I like to believe that, of course, we have an afterlife and whatever. That's my belief. I won't know for sure until I'm dead. We can all hope there's something else afterwards, but... it's fun. I'd like to see if the astral projecting thing's real, because lots of scientific people say it's not, and it disproves any kind of spiritual belief, and I'm like, well, I like to, I'm all for science. I'm a very skeptical person, so I'd like to try it. And I have tried it, but never worked. Like, I've laid in bed, laid there, done nothing, and... laid there for 2 hours. Like, I'd have, a video from YouTube playing in the background for, hypnosis music or whatever, relaxing music. I mostly do that to keep track of time. And somewhat so my head has something to listen to and I'm not thinking so much. And I've laid there for 2 hours. Not moved for 2 hours. And not had any vibrations, anything. The most I've ever gotten with astral projection is heaviness. But, once again, I know nothing about astral projection. I know what it is. I know how to do it. I just can't do it. Yeah, so if you want to know anything about that, I mean, I know what it is. You can ask. I guess you can ask me, but I don't. I can tell you how to do it. I just can't tell you my experience, because I have none. But once again, I'm pretty sure I've talked about that slightly. So, yeah, that's this video. Thanks for watching. And you guys have a super day.